You're like Marv.
Why?
Do you know
where's the incentive? Like, I don't understand.
The incentive is stupidity. I told you humans are taxed.
These are expensive.
No, but let me
Do you know how much stuff you could have done?
No, let me explain.
Several pairs.
Can you shut up? No, wait. Nah, hear me out. For shoes, you can get shoes from, I don't know, £80 to thousands of pounds. Yeah. For you, what do you feel is reasonable? What do you feel is excessive? How do you justify it? I'm very curious to know.
Like pricing wise?
Yeah, like price points, different price points.
Yeah,
where would you place yourself?
That's a bit of a techie one.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I feel pricing is more psychological, isn't it? Because like if you like obviously design a shoe and you go, okay, cool, I want, because now I'm actually even thinking of like going to other countries, right? So like my like marketing strategy, like, okay, cool, like obviously the UK, there's America, that's a big marketplace, and also like West Africa, like there's no like brands out there. I want to be there.
Yeah.
But obviously with like West Africa, I'm thinking about price point, because obviously like if I'm dropping a shoe for like 175 in the UK, in West Africa, that's kind of high. So I know there's certain man that will buy it, or if you want to go to market. So yeah. So I'm more thinking about like obviously who I'm targeting and what I'm trying to say with the brand. Like I'm trying to like go for like elegance and excellence. Like that's really what the brand represents. Like innovation on as part of that as well, and also giving you like materials that are sustainable. So obviously with all of this stuff comes to cost. So I think justifying the price for me is kind of like it's seeing things the wrong way around. It's more understanding what is the value you're providing to the customer. Like, so one of the biggest things that we're also doing as well, and again, this is like a lot of components in the industry that I'm understanding. I'm like, yeah, nah, how do I fix that? When I first started, I was obviously just like designing shoes, and then very, very quickly, I had like bare stocks. And I started looking, okay, what do I do with this stuff? I'm like, and then this customer was like, why can't you recycle this stuff? And I started looking into like, okay, how do you like recycle shoes? Going through that rabbit hole led me into discovering like all crazy stats, like over 20 billion shoes that end up in landfills. Just in the UK alone, there's 300 million shoes that end up in landfills every year, bro. So like our thing now is like, how do we fix that? And so, you know, this was me like just again first reputable thinking. It's like, okay, cool, like if this is the problem, how do I solve it? And obviously understanding the key problem is consumerism. We consume too much, and it's not going to change. Like, you want to wear this kicks today, okay, cool, you wear it for a while, it's done, you move on to the next one. So we know like that the way people live their life is not going to change. So we want to be able to provide you shoes, you wear it for as much as you want to. When you're done, you give it back to us, so we can resell it if it's still in a good condition, or we will like recycle it. So again, go to pricing, right? So when we say our shoes are a certain price, I'm trying to give you price that is still reasonable, but it's like you understand the value you're getting from the brand, because there's a lot of components that's in the brand that we're trying to do things and just do things differently.
It wasn't so much like about your price point, because everybody is always gonna have whatever price point they have, and they'll justify it however they mean to justify it. It was more industry, you know what I mean? But I'm curious, because you mentioned something about like a buyback almost. Can you expand on that? That sounds because, you know, for the people that a lot of people do the whole vinted and so on and so forth. So and it sounds like you've thought of a lot of things. So yeah, if you could expand on the buyback bit, I'm interested to see what your vision is.
Nah, bro. Like,
and obviously, don't feel like you have to say too much as well. But
of course. Yeah, so I think like the whole thing, as I say, came from like me having a lot of stocks, and then I realized, oh shit, I've got a lot of stock. I need to move this. So it's either I discount it, or I find other ways of going. Okay, cool. These are materials, like these are materials, and obviously you should be able to like recycle the shoes and make other shoes from it. Because I'm going like, these designs, I don't really like them no more, because this is what I started with. So I started with the designs. I didn't want to push them. I didn't start to sell this. So I started thinking about what can I do with the material? This is still leather. This is still rubber. There should be a way to like reusing materials or deconstruct them and like, you know. So this was me like applying that first principle thinking into like how do I solve that problem, and then also as well from like me just being a consumer, I've got a lot of kicks just in my wardrobe just sitting there. You wear it, when you're done with it, you just leave it there, and so I just applying just logical thinking. It's like, okay, cool. What will be beneficial to me as a customer will be if I wear something and when I'm done with it, the brand, I can give it back to the brand and go, hey, you know, this kick with fire. I've worn it for a year or 2 years now. There's other shoe that I saw on your website I like. I can exchange it. You know, give me the old pair. I'll give you a new pair at a discounted price, and that's what we're doing. So we want you to wear our shoes. Once you wear it, as long as you can, you're done with it, and you see a newer pair. Yeah, cool. Give us the old one. We'll give you a new one at a discounted price. Because what that does for us, obviously, is customer retention. So for me, like, yeah, cool. From a business perspective, it makes sense. Yeah. And then from the customer, you don't have to worry about having your kicks sitting around. Like once you're done with it, rather than just keeping it here, you just go, yeah, cool. Like I'll get a new one. And then also as well, from like a global perspective, we were making sure our shoes don't end up in landfills. Because like the biggest and a lot of things that people don't, it's one of the things that until you see it, you don't understand the problem. Like it's mad. Like and something that again, as a consumer, I didn't know this stuff before. It's like me asking those questions and then understanding that one pair of shoes can take around 30 years to like decompose. So imagine 300 million from the UK alone taking 30 years to like decompose every year. And this problem is only getting worse, bro, like by the minute. So like something has to be done because, you know, if not in your doorstep, so you don't care about it. But there's all these landfills in Africa, they are being polluted by us just consuming too much. And I think like it's a problem. Obviously I can't fix the whole problem, but what I can do is ensure like our footwear, our shoes don't end up in those landfills. But then also as well, like we're giving you a very easy way of doing it. It's like, yeah, cool, wear it, give it back to us when you're done. Like, yes, obviously this is something that's quite new. So, you know, just it's now on getting people that understand that whole scheme and that whole process, and then hopefully people actually like, you know, buy into it. But I mean, I don't see why not. Actually, a question to you: is that something that you would find interesting to like wear your shoes and when you're done with it, you give it back to the brand?
I feel like, in short, yes, because there's so many factors to that. There's religion, there's spiritual beliefs, there's so many, you know, things that come into it, and I feel like let me give you an example. I got a pair of Bapesters that I bought over 10 years ago. I've worn them once. They're just sitting in a box, and will I wear them again? Probably not. But I still have them, and I don't even know why I have them. You know what I mean? Like it was like, you know, the Soldier Boy days, like
colours, blue, purple, pink, and
they're actually the Wonder Woman Bapesters. Like, but and I wore them once, and I just, for me, it was like, yeah, that was it. You know what I mean? I've worn them now, and it's like, I feel like if a brand does that, I feel like I'd be more invested in the brand. Like I've never really had an opportunity to sit down with you know, somebody in charge of a brand and really quiz them on what their brand is about, the ethos, you know, the belief, the soul. I've never ever had a conversation with somebody, and you know what, I've watched interviews on like Kanye with him making his shoes and why he made his shoes, and I've never been as sold as I am and have as much belief in something as I do this. In all honesty, like you've covered so many bases. It's like, now what? Buy the shoe, bro. Like just really, that's what it's like. Because
buy it down, it's right here.
This is it. Like because you've covered ethics, you've covered why you started the brand, you've covered what you hope to achieve with the brand, you've covered community give back. There's all bases are covered. There's like, and the sad unfortunate thing, and this is why I asked you about pricing earlier, is because me personal, I'd rather spend the 200-300 in this than like a 1,500 and just have some guy just sitting in the Hamptons just happy because I bought his shoe. That like, when all I'm gonna do is get into a situation and the shoe might get scuffed, and like, do you know what I mean? There's no like, that's it, the shoe's scuffed and that's the end of the story, and no one cares about anything to do with the shoe. Whereas like, if I put on a pair of like blueprints, I can tell a story. I can be like, yeah, do you know what, I bought this because rah rah rah, and you see on the sole, yeah, and the logo, and you get me, like, I become invested in it. So yeah, I feel like I went on a bit, but
no, we're safe for that, man.
How much were? No, go on, sorry.
Go on, you say something.
I was gonna say, how much were your? You said Bapesters?
Yeah, bro, I couldn't tell you.
You had to speculate.
That was that Pharrell era, innit?
Yeah.
Prices,
couple hundred maybe.
Say 300.
Maybe.
All right, cool. So
for that era, that was expensive. Yeah, that was expensive still.
No, I can imagine. But I'm just thinking in terms, because you said you'd be happy to like give your shoes back to be recycled and stuff. So would you do that for free? Would you want some sort of part exchange? Sort of, because I'm trying to think what's applicable for your.
Yeah, the part exchange is the discount.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is because he mentioned about like bro. If this is the thing, yeah, people are tapped in this world, yeah. If I say to you, listen, here's a shoe, it's £300, buy the shoe, and you're like, yeah, alright, cool. £300, I don't know. But then I say to you, here's a shoe, it's £300, you get 5% off. But the way that humans are tapped, you're more interested for 5% off. And when you think about it, like, we do backwards things, yeah, because you'll buy a £1,500 phone, and then you're cussing because the case costs £70.
It's mad, isn't it?
Make it make sense.
And these times, if the phone drops here, it's gonna.
And you're gonna spend another 1,500 just to be like. So why wouldn't you spend like me? Because I was having this justification with myself the other day, and I was like, I've always been a person like, you see, with phone chargers, I always buy a branded phone charger. I don't do the boss man thing, because you will do the boss man thing 10 times over, and you should have just bought the original, because it will last at the same time.
So
you know what I'm
bro.
saying? And so I'm learning to apply that to different aspects of life, like buying the £70 phone case, because that £70 phone case, you're only gonna buy it once. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I do that with food, innit? So I shop between Waitrose, M&S and Tesco, and I remember bumping to someone when I was coming out of M&S on the Pearly Way, because obviously Aldi is next door, and sometimes I grab bits from Aldi as well. But I was coming out of M&S and they bust, rich gang. I said, you drink alcohol?
But
because I've seen you in the club spend 180 on a bottle.
Facts.
Don't tell me rich gang.
Yeah.
This is my.
That's where you flex.
Yeah, that's where I flex on food. So like, in my head, logically, I'm like,
that's what I'm saying.
So like, even one time, there's a orange juice that I put on my story one time, Ben Organics, and it costs like $3 something a bottle if you find it in the right place. But other places £4. So the same joke again, and I'm like, logically, I'm thinking in my head, if I do 30 of these, it's still not gonna cost the one bottle you've popped. So that's how I break down things in my head. I'm like, alright, cool. If I know I don't spend this on this, I spend this on. You know what I mean?
But that's what you care about, though. You care more about your health than like. So again, to your point, that's why I said price is very interesting, because when you associate brands, and when like, you know, you're buying like the Balenciagas and them mans, or the Dior's or LVs or whatever, it's status. When you wear it, you're saying something. So you want to, they can put the more expensive it is, the more you're trying to say something else. You're gonna go like, you're wearing these ones are 2 bags. So they understand that, and that's why they will give you a shoe that's that maybe the cost price is about 100 or maybe less than that, and they're giving you for like 2 bags, and you're gonna pay that amount of money just because you want to be seen as you want to say something.
This is it.
So that's what you care about. But someone else cares about like, oh yeah, cool, I'm gonna spend my money on like food or gym membership or other things that are more personal to me. So yeah, everyone has different priorities, man.
Yeah.
Like,
That you basically said what, like, you see, like before, yeah, like when I would spend money like in certain ways, and someone would say to me, oh yeah, I pay 2 bills a month for gym, I'll be like, oh, why? Then I thought to myself, you know what, when you've been to like one of those fitness health clubs, after a while I'm like,
It's nice in there.
yeah,
it's difficult
I actually
to-
get. You could actually, like, especially if you're a person who works from home, you can go there, train, eat, shower. What is it? Third space where you could put your gym clothes. They could wash it for you. Like you've got work.
Space is
You get what I'm saying?
is different.
You've got yeah, you've got your workspace, so you don't even have to go home to work. So you can just stay there and just.
It's a second home. You can stay there all
There
day.
you go. So it's like.
the third space. That's what they call it.
There you go. So you're paying you're paying 200 a month or 250. That's additional rent. I get it now. Like the whole concept is home away from home. So before I used to be like, but now I'm like, you know what? That's your thing, because you're not spending the 250 on a table today in a club. But you see it as you're here day in, day out, week in, week out. So like one of my friends broke it down. He was like, see it like this here. I see it like £10 a day. I said, I never thought of it like that.
It's whatever
break
works
things
and
down.
how
Whatever works.
Yeah, like
You see, go on.
sorry, I was just gonna say, going back to what you're saying, like, sorry, it was your question. I'd be more inclined to invest in that regard, because I know that the brand actually the brand actually cares about what's happening, and the landfill thing, I've heard about it and seen it from a clothes perspective, not so much from a shoes. And there was a guy, I can't remember his name, it's escaped me, but American guy, he came over here and we partnered and did like a community give back. So he was literally going to homeless people and giving them shoes. And so things like that make me think like, if I know that, and not necessarily just because I might get a 10% or whatever, but because there's an invested care about what happens with the shoe and what happens to my community where I originate from, I'd be more invested in that, definitely.
I think just like jump on that as well. I think that's one of the reasons why, when I was really thinking about, okay, cool, how can I like structure this whole thing, is understanding that that's not going to change like trends, because when you bought them vapes at the time it was trendy. So exactly. You want to wear shoes that are trendy, and because like we go through like different cycles. Like right now everyone's wearing baggy. It's all baggy, bro. I got a couple.
I got bare baggy. Like even when I first saw the shoes, already in my head pictured.
You could tell.
I said,
the
drop on. Yeah, already pictured
with the button down.
Come on, but it's like that. But very soon, I don't know, maybe in the next 5 years, everyone's will go back to that skinny jeans. Like, you never know, bro. Like, but when you understand, okay, cool, like that's just the way fashion is. Like, you don't want to be like stuck in the 80s or the 90s. Like now, everything changes. So it's like, yeah, cool. Like you can, I might come up with this style now. This colorway is popping now. Maybe next year it's not. Like because like check trends, they could come and they go. So I want you to I want to give you things that are trendy now, and then you wear it, and then if it's no longer trendy or maybe you're done wearing it, cool, give it back to us. Because that whole thing of understanding, what's the end of life of like what you own. And I think a lot of times, as a designer, it's something that I'm not understanding. It's like thinking about like, yeah, cool, I want to give you something, but what's that end of life for the customer looking like? Like once you're done with it, what happens to you next? And to me, like that's very important, because knowing that you're gonna consume regardless, because we all like right now everyone's like, oh yeah, cool, it's always different trends, different things you're tapping into. So like when your interest changes, you rather than just like dashing them in your wardrobe and just sitting there, it's like, nah, don't clog your wardrobe, give it back to us, because we know eventually that's gonna end up in landfills. It's fact.
To be honest, even if I bought a pair of your trainers and I've got a couple pairs of Yeezys that I've never worn.
You're like, Mom.
Why?
No, Do you know what
Where's the incentive? Like I don't
the
understand.
incentive is stupidity. I told you humans are tapped.
These are expensive.
No, but let me.
Do you know how much stuff you could have done?
No, let me explain.
Several pairs.
Can you shut up? No, wait. No, hear me out. Because you know what it is, yeah. And I'm speaking, I'm listening, I'm thinking about it, yeah. Like these brands have drawouts and
On your bank account, I can see. It's
it's been a while.
Bro, I've seen you guys like
No, but hear me out.
chiseling his Jordan. Yeah,
these are the
look.
way to go.
Landfill, bro.
I don't want to dash them. I want to dash them to someone. But like even out of these, like the fresh pairs. Like when you mentioned, there's trainers you've only worn once. So one time I've gone to dry my bed sheets down the road at the laundry because it was raining that day, and literally as I'm parking up my car, a homeless guy said to me, "Do you want me to watch your car while you go in so you don't have to pay it?" I said, No, it's cool, man. I'm in and out. Then he's come again and he's speaking to me. So I said to him, I looked at his foot. I said, what shoe size are you? He said, 9. I said, I'll soon come. So I've grabbed like 3 pairs because I know that I've not worn them. Like it was like one was like Air Force One. I can't remember the color, but it's like 3 pairs of trainers that I've only worn once. Circled back. Then I had my old school Nike Tech Pack. Like a couple of them that I ain't worn in years, like probably like 6 years. Gave it to him. Then he was like, thank you. Then I said, if I bump into you out here, because he said he lived like a few doors down in like a little hostel. He was like, yeah, that if he sees me again, I said, just tap me and ask me. Like if I got, I'll just.
But see, this is the thing, because like I was saying before, religion plays a part.
Yeah.
I've got a friend. How can I say this without flames in? Alright, basically they don't wear shoes from other people, and their shoes are their shoes, so they don't do hand me downs. So I'll just keep it at that. But going back to what I was saying with the drawers, with the shoes and that, is we get drawn out with things like raffles, and there are certain times where like I don't want to have to enter a raffle to buy the shoe. And it's mad how things become full circle, because now you can walk into JD and buy Yeezys, bro.
Oh yeah, the bare Yeezys and JD. I got that over there.
They've flooded the whole market, bro.
Yeah.
This is it. Like I text my cousin the other day. I took a picture. I was like, sad, what's happened to Yeezys? Like, but the thing is, and that's the power that he added to the brand. Do you know what I mean? But it's because of things like raffles, and so certain time you'll get the trainer, and it's like. I wasn't even really looking for it, but I wanted to enter the draw, because then if you enter this draw you might be successful with the next, and so on and so forth. And the thing is as well with certain brands, and the difference is with if like people like exclusivity as well, and this is why I say we're tapped, because you see, if I spend £20 and go to the perfume shop and buy a perfume, they just might flood my inbox with offers. But then when I go Penhaligon's and I buy my perfumes, every time there's a new release, they call me, they will message to say, we've got this fragrance in, and so on and so forth. You can come and get this fragrance. Exactly.
Yeah.
And like if you buy regularly from Penhaligon's, you can go there and they'll fill up your sample bottles, your travel bottles on a regular basis. And it's like, these are the things that it's like convenience but being tapped at the same time, and that's the reality of it.
It's not. I don't think it's being tapped. Like they do it on purpose. They do it to make you feel special. They do it to make you continue to buy with them.
But this is the difference, though. If there's a level of feeling special with it, I take that. But if it's just like raffle and whatever, because when you check it and you look down the line, you really are like, why did I even? Do you get me? It's not that deep. And in some cases, and I think the resale market started that. Do you know what I mean? Because
remember before the bots, bro. I used to be up here when a raffle come here.
Bro, them raffles.
Bro, 2 laptops, 2 laptops, 2 phones, iPad, like some
just
there. Scammer, boy.
Enter, confirm.
You think I'm in the village waiting to scam, boy.
and then what's the app? Sneakers app.
Yeah, Sneakers app.
They'll text you like a dickhead and say you unlucky.
Yeah,
bruv.
I remember one time I got 4 Yeezys, luckily. And then I must have put it on my story, said, yeah, I grabbed 4 of these. My phone within like a second, come on, random. Yeah, I want that. Then I sold all of them, yeah, like an idiot. And the joke thing was, that was an actual pair that I wanted, but me in my head, I was just like, I just want the money.
And you see, this is the thing, and that's the difference, and this is why I say we're tapped, because look, you have a man selling trainers that he actually wanted just because, you see what I'm saying? Whereas if we actually unplug from the stupidity, it's like, oh, I actually want these trainers.